Namaste, good afternoon, it's Claire Sharp from Spiritual Pampering. So I'm following the Telos teachings. I'm part of Telos Australia, and I'm studying volume 3 of Telos. It's the protocols of the fifth dimension, and I'm working mainly around working with the heart, but also I'm been the last maybe 6 months to a year been working on judgment, releasing judgment, because I certainly don't judge my clients. But I just noticed that, I was driving along the road, and people would be overtaking me even though I was doing the speed limit, and then I'd be in judgment of them, what am I not going fast enough for you, I had something to say, which I didn't even know I was doing. So I completely stopped that. And so every time, I have to stop myself, catching myself being in judgment of other people. And Telos Australia's head man is Andos, and Andos was told by his I Am Presence that he was to sit in a mall to practice judgment. So that's huge. So I constantly working on judgment. In fact, I stopped watching television shows, Britain's Got Talent and things like that, because I just not want to be sitting there in judgment. So I think it was Friday last week. I've noticed this for quite a few, let's say, months. I lap swim every day, and I've been lap swimming for four and a half years. And the ladies started to put out the sign. So we've got like different, people going different speeds. So I've been getting the slow sign. So she's got this, I should have got a picture and show you. But anyway, you can imagine it. It's just a cardboard sign and it says slow. Then you've got medium and you've got fast. Now, I think I swim relatively fast. Maybe not fast, because the guy next to me, because we're regulars, we have our own lanes that we've chosen over the years. And he is a triathlete. So he swims pretty fast. So, But I used to get given the medium sign. But anyway, I've noticed that I've been getting the slow. And I just queried that with myself. And I had a judgment about it. Obviously, I had the judgment. And I had, obviously, the lady's got a judgment of me, thinking that I deserved the slow sign. But I had to really look at why that was actually bothering me. Because, to be honest with you, look, we just get in the lanes. I've been in lane 2 for all these years. That's the lane I get in, and and I know that the other guy would get in the lane even if it said slow on lane 3, because that's the lane he chooses to swim in. So it shouldn't be a bother, but I noticed that it was. So I was sort of chunnering about it this morning. Last week I actually mentioned it to Andos, head of Telos Australia, and I was talking to him about it, and he said to me, maybe there's another aspect you should look at. Maybe the sign is telling you to slow down. So I had a look at that. And then today, because I do 100 laps, so today when I get in, I was feeling quite tired, and I said to myself, well, slow down. Don't try and do 100 laps in an hour. Just take your time. Really, really slow down. So I was thinking, right, so if I'm going to slow down, then I'm going to enjoy myself. So this is the lesson. Judgment to joy. So I'm snorkeling. So I snorkel, so just give you the idea. I snorkel. It's a 20-metre pool, 100 laps, underwater. Usually takes me, if I'm going fast, an hour 5, anything to an hour 10. So this morning, I'm there, and I just start going slow, really like relaxing into it. And then I started to use my imagination. I started to really, really enjoy it, like if you were swimming on holiday, as opposed to beating the clock. And I was like just swimming around, and I started to imagine that I was a mermaid, and I had this magnificent turquoise tail, and I was just like swimming with the dolphin. I was just all there in my imagination. Changed my reality you know, to experience this with joy, you know, this experience of not hard work, not crashing the laps, you know, trying to always beat the clock, just really, really turning something, judgment, into joy. So, and then I started swimming around, and I visualised that I was snorkeling, and then I was looking for buried treasure, and because I swim quite deep in the pool, and I was imagining, you know, gold cups around me and a treasure chest and sand, and it was just beautiful. So turning something that's a judgment into a joyous event. So I was also then called to do some releasing around it, because it doesn't matter if anybody thinks you're slow. It really doesn't matter, because it's what you think of yourself. And I'm not slow, you know, I'm just me, and I'm self-taught, so it doesn't really matter. So what I'm trying to explain is, try not to take things personally. And if you are taking things personally, then you need to look at why. And there's a judgment, and it could just be a judgment of self. I mean, I could be thinking that I should be faster. I mean, that's why you know, swimming against a clock, aren't you? You're trying to do 100 laps in an hour. That I started that in February. I just thought I'd do something different, because I used to swim for 90 minutes, but I didn't really. I just did about 130 laps. But I thought that if I did 100 in an hour, that would be magnificent. But again, you're pushing yourself. You're forcing yourself, you know, and then you surface and it's 110 minutes and you're disappointed. So taking the pressure off and just really, really enjoying what I was doing this morning. So turning a judgment into joy. So we're using the releaser prayer at Telos Australia, and us created this prayer quite a few years ago. And I've really working with it every day with my clients, letting people release, let go of judgment. So what we do is we call in our beloved I Am Presence to please take from us every thought, word, deed, action of the core, cause, effect, record and memory of all mental, emotional, physical and spiritual violations of all levels of relationships and all levels of separation that are within us, consisting of. Now what I do is I get my clients to write a list of the injustices, the pain, the anger, the hate, whatever it is they have against the person. You know, that injustice, how dare they? How dare they think I'm slow? Not slow, you know. So you've got to release all the injustices. And then, you could then, I mean, I didn't go there, but you could go, well, she's not very nice, is she? You know, you could go there with it. You know, you could go wherever you want with it, because this is what people do. And so, you know, then you're feeling really upset. So we have to relieve the sadness and keep peeling it. So that's why I get my clients to put their name at the top of a piece of paper, think about the person, and then really, really spend time putting all those emotions down on paper, so that we can ask St Germain to transmute these energies into the forgiveness and compassion for ourselves and the other person. Then we call in the violet flame of St Germain. It's a cool flame. You bring it down through your crown chakra, through all your chakras, nice and slow. Just, you know, I do this when I'm swimming. You can do it, you know, anywhere, preferably not driving. But you can just be sitting there and letting it go. So, and then I put the violet flame also around me as well. So within and around me. And I just really sit in that, or swim, whatever I'm doing, for a few minutes. And then the next section is, you now vocalize the wisdom that you've gained from this situation. And now that's just put quite a few examples that you can use, but I tend to use this one. That was then, this is now. Or this morning, I was using the one, no one can hurt me, only I can hurt myself. Because I know that lady didn't put that there to intentionally hurt me. I just that I, you know, got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about it, and I had to release it and let it go. And it's a daily thing, releasing, you know. And it just went, and so I think the universe just decided to give me like a morning of judgment, learning judgment, because the next thing that happened, I'm the only one, 8 lanes, it's cold here in Perth, 8 lanes of swimming lanes, and I'm the only one in the whole aquatic centre. 100 laps, I've done 80. And the next thing, the Aqua aerobics people got in the pool, took lanes 6, 5, 4, 3, I'm in 2, and which they're usually in 2 lanes, and they did this walk. So there's like 20 of them, and did this walk around the pool. So now we're in a whirlpool. I'm in a washing machine. I've got 20 laps to go, and I tried my hardest, and I can't get there. I can't get to the end of the pool. So I'm going this way, I'm going under the ropes, I'm doing the hard, working my hardest. Eventually I get there. Coming back, obviously, I'll give them the due. It was a bit easy, it gave me a bit of flow, and got to the end. That's not too bad. Again, struggled. In fact, at one point I was just going, I was just swimming. I wasn't even moving, I was just swimming. So massive judgment. How could they? How dare they? All of that. You gotta let it go. So you just keep peeling it, calling in your beloved I am presence to take from me all the injustices. How dare they? How could they? What they thinking? All my judgments. And then called in the violet flame, released it, transmuted it, and by the end of it I did think it was quite funny. And it didn't matter. And that's the worst I've ever swam for 100 lengths, 1 hour 16. But it really didn't matter, because remember, I was only there really to have fun. I thought that I would turn this into an enjoyment rather than swimming laps, but it just did look a bit hard at the end. But I surrendered it, and by the time I got out, I'd forgiven them all. And when I bobbed up, they were playing lovely music and they were having the time of their lives. And who am I to interfere with that? I'm not. So I want to share with you from page 52 from the Telos 3 book, Aurelia Lewis-Jones book. Adama talks to Aurelia and he says, "You must especially not allow your ego to react, no matter what you see or experience, and regardless the way some people may treat you. Never again be tempted to become bitter, resentful, or judgmental of anything or anyone. These are attitudes and energies that keep you glued to the third dimension experiences." And if we go to page 58, Aurelia says to Adama's the heart doctor of Telos, city of Telos, the city of light within Mount Shasta. She says, "Why am I tired all the time?" That's it. "Why am I tired today?" And he says, "You're tired because you are in judgment of your dimension. Each time you feel tired, recognise that you're in a place of judgment. Know that you can transmute and transform the energy. This is the homework everyone will have to do to move into the 5th dimensional frequency. Everyone will have to let go of everything they know about the 3rd dimensional paradigm and learn a new way of being." So that's the leap of consciousness between the 3rd and the 5th dimension is huge for most of you. So that's what we're doing at the moment. We're learning. Change the energies of judgment, the energies of expectation, the energies of guilt and shame. All these lower vibrational energies are part of the 3rd dimensional existence, which you no longer desire or validate. There is no right judgment or wrong judgment. There is no sentiment that supports judgment in the 5th dimension. You must begin to recognise in your energy field, in your mind, in your thoughts, in your heart, when you are in judgment, and release them to the higher realms. So just a little bit of a chat today about judgment, and it's just an interesting thing. It's something we've got to learn. We've got to come from our hearts, and just then finally, when you've done all the releasing, just be in the gratitude for the depth of your being, for the healing. And it was only the time I got in the car, it was 9:04, and I thought, my goodness me, I've spent a lot of time releasing this morning. So I wanted to share that with you, how you get from judgment to joy, bringing joy into your heart. Come with joy on this experience into the fifth dimension. Don't be too hard on yourself. Certainly don't be hard on other people, so we don't want to sit in judgment of ourselves or others. Come from peace and love from our hearts. And with that said, I'll give you the blessing. With love from my heart to yours this Tuesday afternoon. May God bless you and keep you safe. And I'll see you next time here at Spiritual Pampering. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye now.